The San Francisco Shock are one of the best teams in the league, and the Defiant had their work cut out for them this past weekend. However, when looking for interesting plays to break down this week, I noticed a few different Symmetra strategies that both teams used, and I wanted to highlight that this week on KARQ'S Reviews. Let's start with San Francisco's strategy.
We certainly know he has been in the past, but this time up against the San Francisco Shock it is difficult, and they're not wasting any time. You can see the Symmetra teleporter went down just to get their team up into the high ground. They're going to be running this Sombra dive comp here from the Shock as they try and break into this one and get the damage boost going as well on the Ashe from the choke point.
We've seen
I
these
love this.
compositions been used for the Paris Eternal and for the Philadelphia Fusion as well. A lot of pressure on your Sombra to make things happen, because otherwise you don't really have good conditions until the damage boost is online. Unless you just kill the enemy Ashe, sure. Yeah,
damage boosted Ashe on this high ground, and now the only person that could deal with that is going to be Logix, but he's gone down. A Dynamite burn did so much work, and I mean, it's just free real estate at this point, isn't it? The Shock are just taking all the ground in the world. So much space being able to take, because, of course, Ans has that long sightline all the way from main into the point, and it's going to be an easy take.
Now, if we rewind and see how San Francisco opened up, their strategy is completely different than what traditional Symmetra strategies revolve around, because they're running the Winston D.Va dive tanks. Off of the Symmetra teleporter, you can see that 4 of the members of San Francisco go through, which is Striker on the Sombra, Twilight on the Ana, Smurf and Choi Hoban on the Winston D.Va. Now, where's Ons and Moth, you say? They're actually going back to spawn to switch to Ashe and Mercy. Smurf and Choi hop over this little short wall inside on the Winston D.Va. Striker on the Sombra walks out and tries to get on a different angle, while Twilight on the Ana is chilling on the inside, waiting for the team call to go. It's actually really interesting to see how spread out San Francisco is when running this sort of divey composition. Everybody's getting into position to strike at multiple angles at the same time. Striker is going to look for a hack on one of the Defiant members. Choi and Smurf on the Winston D.Va are going to jump the first person that Striker hacks. Ana's on this angle to give a little bit of healing and look for good top-down anti-nade angles, while Ons and Moth are on the outside shooting in with the Mercy damage boost on the Ashe. The multiple angles that San Francisco took confused Logix on the Ashe a little bit, and Ons, with the help of the damage boost from Moth, managed to kill him off of a Dynamite into a body shot. With an opening pick like that, without a Mercy pocket on Logix, the San Francisco were going to be up 6 versus 5 and take this first fight with ease. Now, on the flip side, Toronto also ran their own Symmetra strategy on attack, but they played it a lot differently based on their composition. Let's see what happened.
Yeah, that's just the way the game's going.
Yeah, full aggression. It seems to be the
6-man Bionade.
The way the meta's turning. Big Bionade from Twilight. It's going to be getting a lot of value done here to Shock. Oh, Smurf's in trouble. Has to back off around this corner, and they've lost their engage. Toronto Defiant in a good position, but another big Bionade comes through again from Twilight. Dynamite damage on top. Zeke has to get a kill now. He's laying down the trap, just hoping that somebody walks into it. He gets destroyed from the spam damage, but still.
Now, while San Francisco ran dive tanks and teleported to the inside room and jumped out, Toronto's running the Sigma Orisa double shield composition, bunker if you want to call it that, and they all like to play together instead of separating on different angles. And that's the strength of the double shield comp. Play close together, get the amp healing from the Lucio into the regenerative burst from Baptiste, along with the immortality field, and everybody seems to survive just fine. A little close for comfort, but Toronto moves into the point and ends up taking almost 90% of the first point until San Francisco slowly and methodically builds ultimates off of Ons' Bob and nano boost from Twilight onto the Winston into Primal to regain control of the point.
Contest this point now, so they built up the nano boost. Smurf is going to be going in, laying in the damage, laying in the work, cleaving through the opposition, finding so much space for his team to capitalize off. Moth with the res as well, which means that they're not even going to lose Smurf in this fight. He's able to get this second kill, maybe, possibly. Honda Zeke getting healed up. He's struggling. Primal Rage now going to have to be committed to try and turn this one. And it's a good job that he did just do that.
Although San Francisco had to expend a lot of ultimates to take control of the point again, Toronto was going to bounce back in the following fight with another teleporter strat, this time on the opposite end of the high ground.
The 2 ticks, though, that the Toronto Defiant got for free means this is going to be a lot more difficult for the Shock.
Yep, and they just roll over hands. And Matrix, for good measure, will come through. They're going to start to build up some progress here onto the point. The damage boosted right click
So off the teleporter from Logix, they catch Ons on the Ashe with the help of Numlock's fantastic Orisa pull. They pop a bunch of ultimates, Roki with the amplification matrix, and Logix sending a secondary fire right through it for the one shot onto Twilight, and Toronto ends up securing this point. I think watching professional teams set up and execute Symmetra strategies are so fascinating because they're so different depending on what the team is running and their styles. Toronto played a very grouped up version, while San Francisco played a very spread out version. Good stuff from both teams, and I'll catch you guys next week. And that's it for this week. Be sure to subscribe to the channel up here and watch the other episodes of the series down here.